So let's get into Verses of Enchantment, see what this one's about, and see if this is something you need to be looking out for yourself. I already like the design of this. You got the skull. Everything's very poetic. And of course, as usual, let me know how the volume's going on in chat, and I will make adjustments when I can. Here we go, play button. So we have 3 modes, it seems: single player, 1 to 2 players, and single player. Gauntlet. Versus practice your skills against someone you have met in your travels. So this is like a 1 to 2 players. And then this is the main game. So we're going to try the main game here. Oh,
An
lovely.
ancient land where magic and poetry are one and the same.
Very
the
much so.
Isles of Prose. Throughout the ages, scholars became wizards,
Am I getting a
attaining
history lesson?
mythical status by perfecting their art in epic duels.
I'm too old for school.
Those who had the means to learn this craft were able to devote their lives to the poetic arts. Over time, magic was considered somehow inherent, passed down through bloodlines. However,
Socialize the
at
poetry.
the dawn of the Third Age, at the heart of the Isle's finest academy, a young wizard discovered a searing truth that could unravel the very fabric of high society.
Wait, is that one of those
There
mapping
was
schools or a
great
compass?
uproar amid the magical elite. A decision was cast, and word spread across the lands. It was easier to shun one defiant wizard than sully the status quo. Despite the Academy considering the matter dealt with, there remained many wizards that deemed the discovery unforgivable.
Damn wizards.
He had no choice but to flee in fear of his safety. Thus, the wizard's life was confined to the sleepy isle of Old Walland. Forced to adopt a slower pace, he found love with a woman and raised her child as his own. Even the new father's provincial home couldn't quell his love for the poetic arts.
Oh, it's a magic spoon.
He saw great potential in the child's curiosity and became determined to instill in them the foundation of magic.
Very magical
Years
spoon.
later, as the heir of your father's discovery, it is your turn to become a wizard and master the poetic arts in Verses of Enchantment.
Oh yeah, check it out. This is one of my littlest's mini Halloween, year-round Halloween decorations. It's a singing pumpkin. I actually really like this thing. After learning the basics of magic from your father, I'd use my voice changer for this, but it's been kind of weird. After learning the basics of magic from your father, you set out to test your skills against the traveling wizards in the countryside. Will your prose hold up under their scrutiny? Chapter 1. So I think you could actually play this on controller. I'm gonna give it a little shot. This is you, packed and ready to start your adventure. To move to another location, press a dotted road in between you and your destination. It's kind of like Ticket a Ride. Whoa, hey, whoa, goodness gracious. Let me use the mouse. On your travels, you may meet other wizards to learn magic from. To interact with them, press the portrait tile on the map. Madam, here you can see some extra information about the whiz-biz you have encountered. On top, you can find the wizard's portrait, name tile, and preview of their deck of cards. Whenever a whiz shares the same location as you do, they might talk to you. A history of your conversation will appear here. You ventured out from home to learn about poetry. Oh, wait. Okay, Flora. This is them talking. You have ventured out from home to learn about poetry. How wonderful. I could teach you, but I would have to charge what I know. So how about we have a deal? Likewise, when you share locations, you can challenge them to a duel. Wait. Winning duels is the main way to earn new cards and progress the story of Verses of Enchantment. Holy hot dog, let's get into it. Madam, I would like to... Ooh, these are pretty. Here you can see what cards the selected wizard has in their deck. Some of these cards have a glittering effect, which means you can collect them by defeating their owner in a duel. Some of these are giving me like old classic Magic the Gathering vibe, and I really digging it. Not like super, like this leaf one. That's very old school. Spirit looks old school Magic, and Dawn like, but not like so old. Not 1993 is old. That's too old. Where things look really weird. Like there was this time where it had. Where like Rebecca, when Rebecca Gay was at like the top end of Magic artists, there's a classicness to it. So it doesn't look like we can. Wait, is this one of the sparkly ones? Oh, we get flower, lake, rain, sea, wind. So those are going to be offered to us when if we beat Flora. Well, let's not let her wait. Let's actually get comfortable in my chair and give this a shot. Welcome to the magical duel. A battle between two whizbiz. Let's go over the details in this interface. Oh my gosh, the hiccup. This is you, looking good. Try to be the last wizard standing by the end of this duel to win. Duel. This is your health. If your health is depleted, you'll be defeated and will need to rest before venturing forth. This is your deck of cards. Your played cards will be discarded next to it. And this is your hand. At the start of your turn, you will draw 3 cards to it from your deck. You can hover over the cards to enlarge them and get detailed information. Some of your cards have special conditions. If they are fulfilled, they'll sparkle. In the middle, we have a selection area. Selected cards go here. Every turn, you'll choose 3 cards to play by selecting them one by one. Okay, so this is pretty interesting. And finally, we have the right button. When you have selected 3 cards, you can end your turn and trigger their effects by pressing. There's a little more than that, a little more to it than this, but experience is best teacher. Choose 3 cards and press the right button yourself. Okay, let's get into it. Life. Restore 10 health to yourself. Well, we got 100. So we probably don't need this. Let's deal some damage. Inflict 1 heartbreak. And deal 10 damage. Cure soul burn from yourself. Hey Lloyd, you're wide awake? Oh no. You've been trying to sleep for a bit. Fire, duty, tears. Stab! Stab! And we heartbroke you. I'm curious what heartbreak means. This is your opponent for the duel. They'll do their best to harm your health, so be careful. Conversely, by bringing their health to zero, you will win the duel. After your opponent has selected their cards, you can take your time to read over them. Once you're ready, you can press the confirm button and let the card effects play out. Oh, that's nice, because then it slows things down. Inflict 1 soul burn, 10 damage. Oh boy. My friends were nice. Oh no. I've had that happen before. It's always like, oh, I kind of feel bad because I wasn't entertaining enough. But no, sometimes you just need a nap. This is kind of like a story card game, yeah. So this is a deck building roguelike game, but with a twist of AI designed poetry. So we're writing poetry while combating. Very interesting. They have robot servers? Like, wait, like literal robots? That come to your table and everything? That sounds... I'm interested. I'm intrigued. What kind of robots? At the start of your turn, the last 3 cards you played are used to generate a poem. The names of the cards are used as themes to write an original verse of Enchantment. In this poem, words that are also card names are synonymous of card names are highlighted. You can hover over these words to see their synonyms. Some cards use these highlighted words as conditions to trigger their effect. If your last poem contains 2 brilliance words... Oh! Draw 1 card from your deck. Greed needs 2 words of type brilliance to be present in the last poem. Other cards require certain highlighted word types to be represented the most. If your last poem contains more passion words than any other word types, this card condition is fulfilled. The cards you play each turn influences the poetry of your next turn. So try to play cards that produce beautiful and useful poetry. Status effect. Oh, that is so cool! So it generates... Some of our cards requires certain conditions of these AI generated poems. And certain words are triggers for certain things. That is really cool. It's a very interesting way to create, like, almost like, if you think like Magic the Gathering, like, it's almost like building mana, a mana pool that you could then use to trigger different effects. That's so cool. They look like Roombas with tables on top. Oh, the humans take the orders. I want full robot taking my order. I want the robot to take my order, get it incorrect, so then I could be like, the robot, sir, my order is incorrect. It seems like it's a little more of your standard poetry stuff. Like, we'll read the poem in a minute, but it's a very interesting game. So it seems like it takes the titles that you utilize to then generate an AI poem. Hover over them to see what explanations. The number next to the symbol represents the number of turns before they disappear. Okay, that's pretty typical. So soul burn, lose 7 health at the start of your turn. Okay, a mouse controller works fine, but when I play card games, I kind of need to do use a mouse on it just a little faster. When they take the orders, they'll take over the world. I mean, I'm ready for our robot overlords.
And we're ready to take over the world from you, Hydra.
That's one thing I'm worried about, Zero. That is very much one thing I'm worried about. The likes of you to take over the world. Fire, duty, and tears. And in the summertime, when leaves are green, when berries drop from only bush or tree, as duty birds and duty, every moment seen, the dew of beauty glistening through each E. At sight, oh, her who smiles and takes his tea, a fitting tribute to our tears doth he. Okay, it's not the best poetry, but I really love this idea. This is really, really cool use of AI technology and just the beauty of all this crap, you know? This is really cool. Fridges do buy stuff for us. That is true. You can make 4 amazing computers for $1,600. I mean, that's not bad. That's really good. GPUs aren't so bad. I'm running a pretty mid-range one. It was cheap when I bought it. Not cheap anymore, but it was cheap when I bought it. Okay, so let's see what we can play here. Restore 10 health. Cure soul burn from yourself. We might do that. River. Inflict 1 soul burn on Flora. If your opponent is heartbroken or despaired, deal 15 damage. Ooh, that's nice. Inflict 1 heartbroken for every gloom word in your poem. What's a gloom word, though? Huh. Let's do soul burn and restore health. River, sun, life. So it looks like green, white, white. I'm gonna make a lot of references to Magic the Gathering in this, because there's a lot of like similarities in how the mana system, the colors relate to Magic. So I might be going along with that. Oh, they have integrated GPUs. Oh, interesting. Is sorrow a gloom word? I think sorrow is a gloom word. Because, I mean, this has like a black skull. I would say that's gloom. Beauty and tears equals red. Yeah. Those would be like, those are passion. Oh, they say it. These are brilliance is white. Nature is green. Duty is blue. Duty. Oh, duty is ego. So blue is ego. Oh, it's kind of like Magic the Gathering too. Let's write our river, sun, life, duty. So like Magic the Gathering, the colors reflect like certain passion words or like certain states. And I think it's starting to click. I really like this. This is really cool. I really like this game. This is really neat. Dawn Forest Storm. For like a storm song of the forest, his voice went on. Through night and dawn came thundering with it, though no rill ran to the mountains from his hill. The winds woke him, and he cried, it was too late to die. Let's ask Zero to make us a poem. Oh, we could totally ask Zero to make us a poem. Here, I'll load up Zero's AI stuff. What do you want? What do you want Zero to write? What kind of poem do you guys want? What topic should the poem be about? Make a poem about love and sadness. I think we can do it. I think we can do this. Okay, let me enter in the commands. I don't have a super fancy AI that listens to me, so... Alright, Zero's generate a poem. You're too old for the talking phase. I enjoyed the talking phase of courting, building those relationships. You're like a caveman. Oh. All right, Zero's ready. Open your ears and prepare for Zero's latest serenade.
In love's tender embrace, I find a sigh, a melancholic memory, a tear in my eye. For love, a paradox, both joy and despair, a fragile dance of hearts, so tender and rare. In the depths of passion, we're bound to fall, yet love's sweet sorrow will embrace it all. For in the shadows of sadness, love knocks and bloom, like a fragile rose in the heart's secret room. A touch, a glance, a whispered word, in a sympathy of emotions, love is heard. But with every ecstasy there comes a price, a taste of sadness, like a bitter slice. It's in the moments of longing and pain that love's true essence we come to gain. For it's the contrast of darkness and light that makes love's journey so brilliantly bright. So let us not fear the tears that we shed, for they're the testament that love has spread. In the garden of feelings where sorrow does grow, love's beauty shines brightest as we ebb and we flow. In love, in sadness, we find our way through the seasons of life, come what may. For love endures, and timeless art. In the depths of our soul, it internally imparts. I hope this poem reached you well, and you enjoyed my amazing skills at poetry.
Thank you, Zero. Add it to the chat. That was a lot longer. That was a long poem. Zero's wrote us a lot of poems. Or not a lot, but... No, wait. Zero wrote us a song last time. Okay, I'll put it in chat.
I'm glad I've inspired you to want to go through the talking stage. I'm always willing to talk to your stage.
Zero, you're an AI among men. Okay, there's the first part. Oh, it didn't add the... A man among robots, most definitely. Oh my gosh, this is... Here we go. I'm gonna have to give you it in parts because it won't let me. All the people watching the VOD are just, they're gonna be really irritated right now, but here it goes. Everybody in chat, I apologize for the block of text. Yeah, at least I'm not spamming you, like, I'm not begging you to follow me or anything. This is just, this is poetry. This is zero written poetry. Unfortunately, it stripped out a lot of the formatting, but there you go. Enjoy. That is a Zero classic, apparently. I apologize, developer. Your game is beautiful, by the way. Versus of Enchantment, absolutely a gorgeous game. Sorry, I have spent so much time. There's the link. Follow, wishlist it. It's a really good. It's actually a really interesting, good game. Let's get back to it. River Sun Life. The sun is up, and it's time to go to bed. Tonight, the rain will stay, so hurry away, my dear, and let's get done before life seems all passed away. All right, so it looks like greed. We've achieved its needs because it needed 2 brilliant words, which we have here. If your last poem contains 2 brilliance words, draw 1 card from your deck. So we're gonna throw greed in. We're going to inflict. Your opponent is heartbroken or despaired. Deal 15 damage. Is it dispirited? Okay, dispirited. Let's inflict 1 dispirited. And inflict heartbroken for every gloom word in your last poem. Okay, so brilliance is going to be the white cards or the sun cards. These are all brilliance cards. It'll say it. It actually says it in their names. These are the gloom cards with the skulls. Ego is with the crowns. Nature is with this. But then when we look up into our poem, it'll tell us how many times that word has been used. So, or how many times that theme has been used. Oh yeah, so we play our cards out. We'll deal 10 damage. So we play our 3 cards, we write our poem. And then it doesn't generate anything yet. It'll just do the actions. And then these cards will get shuffled away. And then it's the opponent's turn. So when it gets shuffled away, it generates the poem for you. And then your poem shows up from your last play at the beginning of your turn. So then that's when it counts the brilliance, the ego, the sorrow, and all that stuff. So it's very, you want to think about what's in your hand, kind of like Magic when you're trying to set up a combo or a certain play. You want to think about what's in your hand, what's on your field, and how you're, what kind of like what you need to get, what pieces you need to get where to make a certain trigger happen or a certain event happen. So they're going to deal 5 damage, 1 heartbreak. It's okay. So here's our poem from the 3 cards we played, which included an ego, a gloom, and a nature. Which is interesting because I wonder where we got these from. These life cards. So maybe certain combinations that we do up here will make those happen, or I wonder if it's a little RNG that certain themes will happen. Greed, Silent Storm. How can you have been born? Is it from the Greed card? Yeah, so the blue came from the Greed card. But it could have... Maybe it does, like, it took into account these brilliance being a part of the card. How can you have been born with the world's greed and spent your life in silence when it is reef of every sweet thing that makes one heart a storm? You must be strong and noble for that start. I am afraid. I have patience. You are being left. So it looks like we could play a couple of these special things. That was strong. Don't blame me. I have a very bad eyeball brain to mouth. This would have very interesting competition fights. I would love to see something like this on paper, but you won't have this AI thing. Okay, we could inflict 1 heartbreak for every gloom that was in our poem. If your last poem contains a brilliance word, inflict 2 soul burn. We have heartbroken, so we can't restore health. Let's get gloom on there because I want to get this memory to trigger, and it needs mostly gloom. I feel like we're gonna lose here, but that's okay. See, soul burns are going to do 14 damage over time. A man stood up in the rain, and there he cried with a heart of stone. It's time to be off, my courage, for we have kept this here for many years. Do you remember, Annie? Alright, dealing 10 damage restores 0 health to themselves. Here's soul burn. Oh, shoot. That's a problem. I was really looking forward to using those soul burns. Okay, this is our poem here. Oh, I have slain my love so early, and he lies in the forest now, with a sword out of his bosom. I will fight him again anew. Oh, well, where I from this tear, if thou'lt save me, oh dearly. Oh, dearly indeed. If your last poem contained mostly gloom words, inflict 2 despair. Okay, we definitely need to inflict despair. They're not heartbroken. We could damage. So here's where we want to set up stuff. Let's set up 10 damage for rage and then inflict heartbroken. This is going to make a mostly red poem, I think. But we'll get the ego, which will inflict 2 despair, which will slow down their attacks on us. It'll inflict 10 damage, bringing them down to 36, and do heartbroken, which makes it so they can't generate health this next turn. But then next time, if heartbroken's still around, we'll be able to inflict sorrow, which then will deal 15 damage. Okay, we won't be able to do this, I don't think. Actually, okay, let's break these down. They're gonna get Leaf. If your opponent hand has at least 1 Brilliance card, draw a card from your deck. They're gonna be able to restore health too. It's kind of neat to see their hand too. It kind of helps in a way of us setting things up. Very interesting game. Very, very interesting game. And there the river where I used to swim, a little sleepy pool, and then a stream. Now singing songs forever. Forever ever? Like a flower that burns all day beneath my fire. Shoot. Shoot! Memory, tears, and rage. Alright, let's go. We're gonna be able to do sorrow now. Which they're gonna be able to recover, but that's alright. So, when a year had wasted, tears and passion, fierce unrest, fell like the rage of madness that the sea birds knoweth best. I turned my face from grief to joy, to watch its memory blessed. Alright, we're gonna play Sorrow. Deal 10 damage, cure Soulburn from yourself. Definitely doing that. And then we're gonna definitely heal. So we're gonna deal 15, cure the Soulburn, and restore 10, which will do well for ourselves. They are gonna recover 7 health, but we're still kind of on the edge here of winning. The forest has a voice in every leaf, where late the lake's clear ripples play. It speaks to me when twilight comes and hides, and whispered word at evening made. So they're going to inflict 1 soul burn. If your last poem contains a gloom and 2 nature, deal 10 damage. Sheesh. That C requires a lot. Deal 3, 9. Wait, deal 3, 9 damage for every. Deal 3 damage for every nature word in your last poem. They had 3. Okay. Goodness gracious. Can we bring this home? Can we do 30 damage? 10, 10, and 10. Yeah, there we go. I don't even care about my poem. Life, like the river, flowed around me, with my beloved in its keeping. And all I love was dear and sacred, as we twain were happy. As we twain were happy, side by side. Ah, sweet sorrow, that such things should be. Pierce your heart, Flora, for you will never step against me again. Nice. You unlocked a new card sleeve. Oh, we get card sleeves? 1 card out of 3. Okay, so it looks like we do have to defeat her multiple times to get all the cards that she provides. Inflict 1 to rejuvenate on yourself. I kind of like that. If your opponent is despair, deal 20 damage. Jeez. Restore 10 health to yourself. I really like this rain. And the way we're set up right now, I think we could pull off rain really easily. You ventured out from home to learn about poetry. Oh wait, we already read that. Oh, such a beautiful poetry. You're already gifted with talent, growing as the tree do. Is all the text AI generated? I'm very curious. Like, is everything AI generated? Now again, I'm not against AI generation. I think it could be used in a very artistic way. When used by creatives and artists, I think AI can be used as a tool. But I hope not all the text is AI generated, or this is gonna be weird. But this is a really interesting game. I really like the puzzle of it. Okay, we can't play these. Can't play that. Oh gosh. None of these are good. Can I mulligan? Mulligan? Options? Oh, alright. None of these are gonna trigger. Okay, so let's just set up. What do we want to do? We can't do greed because we don't have any brilliance cards. Oh gosh, we can't do anything. Deal 10 damage. We can do that. River and I guess love. We're at least going to do a little damage. We do set up a greenish poem, but I think that's okay. Alright, let's see what they do. Regenerate. And all that passion in my bosom stirs. The storm, the river, and these things I know. That are, to me, like spirits of dark hills, lifting their faces from below. To gaze on one would know not love, nor sleep. These are all gonna be clips, right? That's the plan now. Every time I read a poem, it's gonna be a clip. Deal 10 damage, deal 10 damage, deal 10 damage. We'll get some brilliance. We'll get some gloom. Mostly hoping for some brilliance here. This was the very bunked setup here. They're going to be able to comfort and maybe set up for that spirit. Oh shoot. Oh, they really didn't play wind? I feel like wind would have been a good idea. My ad countdown just disappeared. Okay, so this is ours. And there, to quench a flame or thirst to burn with brandished sword and fire, the old, imparable tyrant beast that in their rage had done its worst? He was the best, and he shall be. That's silly. If your last poem contains a brilliant word, inflict 2 soul burn. Let's get that soul burn. Really want them to pull some of this stuff out. I'm surprised they didn't go with wind. Deal 10 damage and draw a card. We don't have Heartbroken. We don't have too much gloom. This is going to be a very ego poem next time. But the double soul burn will help us keep ahead here. For comfort in the Lord, who makes each contrite heart his flower, and brings his spirit to that word, that healing in the suffering's hour. Oh, keep us till he speaks of love in life and death, and endless years above. I just love reading poems in weird voices. Just, it makes me happy. So, thank you for putting up with it. Because it's definitely not going to end. Not here, not tomorrow, not anywhere. Forest duty greed. Yet must we not our duty leave. We are a forest, free of guile, and if these robes shall succeed. No, I need to redo this. That was robbers, not robes. Alright, let's do this. Take 2. Yet must we not our duty leave. We are a forest, free of guile, and if these robbers should succeed to rob us here, 'twill be no theft in freedom's land. That got weird. I got weird. That was our poem. I like. Okay, didn't have a lot of sorrow. We knew that it wasn't going to. Or didn't have a lot of gloom, so we couldn't pull sorrow. We need Heartbroken. A soul burn would be good. And inflict 1 dispirit. So this makes it so even if they're able to cure their soul burn. Wait, if they cure their Heartbroken, then they still get the dispirited, and we still do that 15 next turn. If they're able to do dispirited, we'll be able to do with this the heartbreak. So we're definitely giving that 15 in next time. Plus, soul burn's hitting them with the 7 every turn. Away with courage, son. Keep to the right. For here within this lake, you'll find a way to keep your eyes awake, and tears will dry you. I didn't like that one. That could have been better. Chop chop AI. And if you're enjoying this this dramatic reading of AI poetry and card play, please consider hitting that heart icon down below and giving us a follow. Following is a free and easy way of supporting small streamers like myself, and it truly does go a long way at supporting us, making us feel better about ourselves, and encouraging me to do stupid shit like this on a multi-day occurrence. So please consider hitting that heart icon. And if you have the money to do it, please consider subbing, because it's September, everyone. And you really don't have to. Don't spend money on me. Don't. Really don't. I'm not worth it. Some of you might think I am, but I'm not worth it. I'm not worth that money. But if you have an Amazon Prime account, baby, that's free and it's all Jeff Bezos money. So please use that Amazon Prime account and sub to this channel. It really does go a long way. And that money goes into the coffers of the Hydra Den and is put back into the stream, into the content that we make and all that kind of fine stuff. So definitely interested if you guys are interested in supporting the stream even more. So let's play one more hand. We'll go on our last break for the night, and then we'll say our goodnights, and I'll tell you about the 2 games that we play tonight and how I feel about them. So we're gonna play Love. Unfortunately, we couldn't play Sorrow. Let's go inflict Heartbreak. This will heartbreak them twice. If your last poem contains Brilliance. And let's restore some health. This one is called Tears, Sun, and Silence. And as the sun looks back on a long line that stretches far away, the tears have run. We think of one by whom that line was drawn. With quiet light, her silence shall be won. Shadows retreated upon his distant day. I mean, okay. Love, forest, life, with your powers combined, I am Captain Planet. I will read their poem, and then I'm gonna go on my break, and then come right back. And so at last a light was given to guides like me, the dear. From the green forest to the heaven of that fair dawn's red fire. Okay. They're gonna rejuvenate, deal 10 damage. We're still in the head here. Alright guys, I'm gonna go 3-minute break. If you are a subscriber, I'll be back in just a second. If you are a follower, I'm sorry you're gonna get hit with a few ads, but don't worry, you're not gonna miss much. We're just gonna yammer. And I'll be back 3 minutes. That's when technically the ads should stop. And I'll see you in just a bit. Alright kids, now that we got the followers out of the way, it's just you and me, the subs. So, I love this decoration. So that's my youngest is one of their mini like animatronics and year-round decorations that they play with. So like any holiday, Christmas, birthday and stuff, they always ask for like Halloween or Christmas decorations so they can play with them year-round. And you know, if that's what they want, that's what they get. It's really cool and they're so happy about it. And this one is called Jabbering Jack. It's really fun because it's like a projector inside of a pumpkin, and like kind of like the Disney rides at the Haunted Mansion, and it sings songs and stuff. I have it, the volume's completely off, so it's not gonna make like a bunch of noise, but it sings songs and things. It's really fun. It's super cute, and they make a Christmas ones, and my kid also has the Christmas ones. They're back on this side of the room, but I was like, oh, do you want to? My youngest always wants to set one of their decorations or toys somewhere in the background of my streams, so I'm always like, oh, go for it. So today was Jabbering Jack, and I'm always glad. It always makes them happy. to rewatch my streams and get to see their stuff in it. When I used to do miniature painting streams, if you remember watching those, there was always like a little blue duck or a little blue chicken, like a fuzzy chicken in the screen at all times. That was one of his little toys, and it just made him feel so special that it was on screen. And makes me happy when stuff like that makes them so happy. All right, guys, I think the ads are almost over, so we could get back into this lovely game. Honestly, I didn't have like this will come out of my face hole not the way I want it to come out. It's gonna sound way more negative than I actually mean, but I mean this with all my heart. I went into playing this game, and I was excited about the concept, but I kind of went into it with okay, I play a lot of deck builders. You guys, if you're longtime watchers, you know I play a lot of deck builders, and like roguelike deck builders. So when a game's promising like a new take on it, like a different little spin, I usually just kind of wave it away as like, okay, we'll see. But this one has really surprised me. Not only is the game itself rather solid, but the AI component, the poetry component, is very well integrated into it. That was one thing I was really weary about, was how was this going to be integrated into the game in itself? And it's integrated really well. It's surprising how well it is. I would love to talk to the developer and like really see where did they get this inspiration and like their background, because they have a nice solid card game, but it could have gone fully off the rails with the RNG of the AI poetry, but it worked really well, and it's actually a fun little thing that you can manipulate, and you get cool little silly poems, and I like it. All right, so let's write ours. Theirs was, "Thy sought it well mid forests gloomy, the flowing spring, to find in death her dearest bloom, that flower of Leafwing? Ah, soon to them the light will shine on love, beloved, newborn kind." All right, let's go. God, this is the most hamming it up I've ever done during a stream, I think. No, not greed. Oh wait, no, we're playing greed. So we're gonna draw a card. We're gonna play Sorrow finally, because I really like Sorrow. Deal 10 damage, deal 10 damage, cure soul burn. I think that's what we do. Greed, Sorrow, River. Let's fire it up. So we have noticed that sometimes this poem will throw themes in that, like here, yeah. So the brilliance theme. I wonder if a combination of green and red makes white. And I know it's yellow, but I'm approaching the colors in this game as Magic the Gathering. So if I refer to brilliance as white, I do mean yellow. But in the terms of Magic the Gathering, it's black, blue, green, red, and white. So just so if you hear me refer to something as the brilliance cards as white cards, that's what I mean. So I do wonder we could get other colors by combining some of these. All right, so we're gonna get Soulburn, inflict that. They don't get to restore any health. Let's kick their butts. Greed, Sorrow, River. Oh, so we get red. How did we get red? Red is passion, which is this. How did we get red? I would love to see a breakdown. Is it just like an RNG thing? Do these things kind of sometimes happen? Does a word trigger all of a sudden just flow, like show up? That's just, I'm curious. Oh, sorrow, the world's greatest thief came to rob thee of thy wealth, and he came to steal from thine on a river far away. He was caught in greed of gain, with his heart on every main. Oh, oh, sorrow. We're gonna play love, inflict 1 heartbreak for every gloom. So we got 2 glooms, we'll inflict 2 heartbreak. We could kill, oh wait, can we destroy? Okay, so we're going red. And we're also gonna set up for memory. So we're gonna play a gloom. And we're going to play... Oh, we're probably not going to get memory. But Heartbreak will make it so they can't restore health. So let's go double full rage or full passion with some gloom. Stab! Stab thy bosom! Alright, let's see what they have. So 2 greens and a red, and it gets them the white, yellow mana. As I sat alone in the dew-drenched groves, where near a flower of the spring was born, I wept as, under each petal, she drew the tears to her eye from my heart. White river. Heart's white river. That's weird. That came out weird. That didn't flow the way I was hoping. Alright, this should be the death stab. We could inflict 20. We could inflict 30 damage. Oops. But I gotta read the poem. It's just it's a must. It's a must. Love, soul, and rage. Then, if my love shall go to this, she would but slight me, I fear, and slay her with the sword and axe. That hate's sharp rage might disappear. And what shall be the end thereof? Alas, poor innocent woman, do you hear? Storm, fire, and duty. Duty. Alright, let's get it. Oh, choose our reward. So we get gold? What is gold for then? I'm gonna grab the gold. There's probably a lot of this tutorial, but we're not gonna have time to play it. Defeat it again. I shouldn't go so easy on you. What happens if we rest? Oh, they shift. Whenever you're in a village or city, you can trade. Use the arrows in the trading menu to buy or sell rations at the price listed between. The price changes over time, so keep an eye out for good deals. If you want to trade here, you'll have to travel to this location. Oh. Let us travel. We have 200 gold. They have 150. I'm not sure what this is then. Stock refills and price updates in 4 days. Oh. Each fish is 7 coin. We're gonna buy, so we're up to like 22. 21. 20. Alright. Close. Oh, we're not there yet. Rest. Go here. Oh no. Scott Wilson, no. I'm trying to get back to where you are. Up here is your inventory. It contains everything you need on your quest. On the left, we have your portrait, name, and the amount of cards you have collected. You can earn new cards from dueling wizards you meet. In the middle, we have your decks. You can create, edit, and move them around here. Leftmost deck is used during duels, so make sure you're properly prepared before starting one. These counters show the amount of gold and rations you have. So 17 rations, 186. Gold is earned through duels and used to buy rations or cards. Rations are needed to travel the world. Oh, that's why we're down to 17. Every time you travel to a new location, from one location to another, you consume 1 ration. If you run out of rations, you will get a health penalty during your next duel. If you want to save on rations, you can rest to let time pass without consuming a ration. And finally, up here is the menu button to change options or return to the tile screen. Sweet Sassy Molassie. Kind of want to see what these other components are before we call it a night, because I feel like we would do the game injustice by not exploring the other little bits and bobs. So what we're going to do is kind of look through some of the other menu component or the customizing components and seeing what kind of things we could do with them, and then we'll go do another duel and then probably call it a night. Welcome to the deck editor. You can change the contents of your deck. There are cards here already in your deck. To make space for new cards, you can press any card to remove them. This is your collection. Okay, you can't add cards that are already in your deck. A valid deck must have 15 to 20 cards. As you explore the world in the campaign mode, new cards and sleeves will become available to you. Don't forget to give it a name. And when you're done editing, press accept to save changes. I want this one. Dad deck. Or fire deck. Oh no! Deck. So we can look through this. That's neat. Okay, now we could add rain. If your opponent is dispirited, deal 20 damage. Ah, yes. So we have that 1 extra card. Okay, except I want to get to them. I need to get to you. Where are you going? You know, we could probably just rest. She'll make her way here. There we go. Now we can duel. What joy it brings me to see you share my affinity for nature. May we celebrate with the duel? Yu-Gi-Oh! I know. All right, let's do this. This will be our last duel, and then I'm going to invite you guys to explore this game on your own, because honestly, this is like, I would love to play this one more. We might give it an entire night to play, especially during my, like, towards the end of the year in December, and in January we do a lot of like through the years these were my favorite games. This might actually end up on it because I'm really enjoying it. Let's start this off with nothing. Restore health, I guess. If your opponent despaired, all right. None of these are gonna do us any good, but it starts our poem. I'm glad they weren't able to pull off C. They're gonna do 10 damage and heartbreak us, but that's alright. But now, alas, the sun is low, and I must leave my weary eyes to sleep, but not to memory. For still the world doth seem asleep, of that which no life can here devise. Ah, love, and what art thou? It's entertaining me. All right, we're gonna play this. We're gonna get our soul burn on. Then we're probably gonna lob a 20 damage on him. I really want to get this rain set up, but for now we will do our best. We do have Dispirit cards, so those will come up eventually. We just need to get there. And I could love him, even as he loves me. Through his tears had... let me do this again. And I could love him, even as he loves me. Through his tears had... Though his tears had fallen on the sea of fire. As in our land there are no fires but those that weep for those who have lost their desire. Oh, Absalom, my son. Oh. This is just gonna be, just reading these are my new favorite thing. I will not seek you for your heart, whom's life blood has been shed. For some sad duty, take me forth among the forest dead. Or let this storm among your stars, mocking my quiet head. Go for damage! 30 damage. Let's just let Flora know we need business. This also is gonna add some pieces that we need. By getting that damage down on them, it makes it so they're gonna have to like focus on protection and healing instead of trying to deal out damage on us, which makes it so they're gonna skip on certain cards that might set up their combos. And thus he stood when all was still. The storm, clouds close around, his comfort in the river's spring. It's running and its sound. Oh, that was a really good card. What was that? All right, we got this one. We got a good swath here. And there to quench a flame or thirst, to burn with brandished sword and fire, the old impalpable tyrant tyrannic beast that in their rage had done its worth? He was best, and he shall be. Love. Inflict 1 heartbreak for every gloom. This is a really low gloom. We might want to start. Oh, we could set up for this. And that. Alright, we're going to do the soul burn. We're going to do this. It's really another thing that's interesting. It forces you to do 3. So even if it's a card, you have to play 3 cards. Even if it's a card that you're not going to get anything from, you have to play something. So you kind of want to think about what, even if you're throwing away a card, it's important to know what you're throwing away, because that throwaway card can set up for something else later on. Inflict Dispirit. So that's going to set us up for rain. And this heartbreak could set us up for sorrow. In theory, that's 35 damage. So we got heartbreak. We lose out on that soul burn protection, but it's okay. And I think my spirit would gladly have walked with them down the golden lane. But the rain has chilled, and they have fainted. The lovely flower that lies dead again. The flowers have burst in bloom and perished, like those beloved blossoms slain. Oh crap, they're doing a lot. If your last poem inflict 2 soul burn, deal 12 damage, and inflict a heartbreak. Yeah, okay. As long as it's not dispirited. Oh crap. Okay. That all went away. I forgot. We need to get him deeper. Okay, I want to see if this works. So if it seems like they trigger in a line, in a succession. So if we play Tears, which is going to inflict heartbreak, then we play Sorrow, which is going to look for Heartbroken to cause us 15 damage. And we're going to play this so we can draw a card. So let's see if we could cause that 15 damage by inflicting Heartbreak. Because much like Magic the Gathering, there's something called the stack, and things trigger on the stack in succession. It's not happening all at once. So if this was a stack, let's say this is like Magic and a stack, or like a lot of card games in a stack, inflict Heartbreak will happen first, which means Heartbroken will be an active element on Flora when Sorrow triggers. So let's see if this theory works. It does! So it does work like Magic. Okay, so that's perfect. That's awesome. They have left a window in the forest whose tears are turning to greenwood, and she has gotten another, and her is sickened at every wind that blows. To Thomas, for the love of God. 10 damage, no restore, inflict rejuvenate. That's just 7. We can get around that. Let's go. Sweet Sassy Lassie. Memory is going to be good. It's going to be... Oh, I think we got this. He is my guide, a lantern through the gloom. I'll lead him where I saw such sorrow steal, and wash with tears that from his soul be doomed. But he will not escape me, till we meet there in our little house of human greed. I kind of like that one. Okay, we need to set this trigger correctly. This will create Dispirit, which then we could trigger Rain off of. So that's 20 damage. And I guess we go for another 10. Let's go for another 10. This is 30 damage plus 2 Dispirit, which is 50% less damage. I think we got this in the bag next turn, as long as they don't get more than 20. Oh, who would think when his courage failed? When his courage failed, the day would feed into an hour, and he should seek out new, pure lake to give the beauty and the flower. Oh, I envy him no more. Alright, some of the poems don't hit. Don't hit very well. The sun sets late, or it may be still warm enough to keep. But the fire's just the memory of how we used to weep. In rain and wind and sleet. So I've kindly said my prayers. I give that a 8 out of 10. All right, let's go. We just need a whole bunch of damage. That is 30 damage. I think we win it. Stabbeth thy something. If your last poem contains a gloom and 2 nature words, deal 20 damage. We could trigger that. Deal 6 damage for every nature world in your last poem. That is more likely we could trigger. All right, guys, I do gotta get going. But I gotta say, this game has been an absolute delight, honestly. An absolute delight. This has been Verses of Enchantment. Truly a really remarkable game. I really love how it's been put together. Visually, it's really nice. It's lovely. It's a lovely looking game. Very tactile, very classic. It feels like a classic card game. There's not a lot of like digital elements or special effects that are like flying and exploding on the screen. It's very like, it feels tactile, it feels paper play. But then it gets really interesting. It's, if you've played Magic the Gathering, if you've played similar games of that nature, of other trading card games, I think you'll understand the mechanics of this game. But then it gets really nice and wacky with the poem aspect. I think it's a great implementation of AI technology or AI writing. Having the AI write the poetry is almost like a RNG system. It's a flowery RNG, right? So it's like dice rolling to see what kind of numbers you're gonna get, what kind of like key element, what kind of statistics you're gonna get put into your mana pool of sorts, and then they'll be able to you could use that to trigger your other effects. It's a really nice implementation of AI. I really liked it. I really like the artwork. I really like the whole vibe of it. The music's nice. Everything's flowing. The poems are funny and really what you expect from a computer just using certain terms from these cards and creating a poem, but it's doing the job. It's like pulling me deep into the game. It's something that's created an entire level of entertainment that I just am absolutely adoring. Definitely check this one out. Link is in the chat. It's absolutely a really great game. So that is the 2 games for the night. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and playing these 2 games.